Good afternoon, everyone. What I'm going to present to you is the reopening of the Stella Maris Seafarers and Fishers Center in the port of Cape Town. I have here the background, which is quite a narrative of the story of how we reopen the center. But basically, it's an initiative that we try to involve with we try to engage with the international organizations, for instance, the ILO, and that began with the ILO's conferences on getting a decent living and working conditions on board fishing vessels. So in series of conferences, they have invited me, and I think 4 or 5 times I have given a presentation in different conferences in different places like Durban, Cape Town, and PE, and there to realize the need for the reopening of Seafarers and Fishers Center in Cape Town. The center is funded by the ILO, but the ILO wanted to bring in all the church organizations ministering to seafarers and fishers, but they would like to focus for us to give an importance to the fishers, and this will be a big shift, which we have started since we opened the seafarers. So it's not quite a seafarers center, but seafarers and fishers center. So now it's Stella Maris running the center, but Mission to Seafarers through Clive Naidu is working closely with us at the center. This is the picture of the inauguration of the center. There were like 6 people from the ILO. 2 were coming from Geneva. The rest are in Pretoria office, and then represented by the bargaining council members, trade unions, and then government agencies like SAMHSA and other also from the employers organization. So the idea of the ILO is to bring in as much as possible government agencies, trade unions, to assist the issues that affects local fishers as well as local and foreign fishers. From this page, I will move on the issues with the reopening of the Seafarers Center. So there were 4 issues that bothers us: limited funding, high cost of rental fee, the high cost of salary, and the right focus on the welfare of seafarers and fishers. And this is the response to that issues. That's a picture of of some Filipino fishers visiting the center. So these are the responses to that issues. So we explore and tap international organizations whose missions are similar to ours to get funding. Second, by working with the ILO, Stella Maris lobbied for a free seafarers center with SAMHSA and TNPA. This happened in February, and I think 2 weeks ago I heard from SAMHSA surveyor saying that the COO of SAMHSA has initially discussed with the Minister of Transport, looking into giving the old mission center for free to the church organization ministering to seafarers. So with this, I really want all other churches organization to join on board the current the Seafarers and Fishers Center now, so that we can work better and expand the services for seafarers and fishers. Third, Seafarer Stella Maris Cape Town relies on volunteer. With high cost of salaries for the staff, our approach now is we go into volunteering. Although we give a 2,500 transportation allowance to the volunteers. Currently, we haven't. There was a plan to employ staff, but the last Sundays, on Sundays committee meeting, we decided that it's not yet urgent, necessary to employ because of the limited number of seafarers and fishers that are visiting the center. Lastly, the Seafarers Fishers Center in Cape Town doesn't sell liquor and cigarettes. This is a compromise decision we made because we see that selling liquors or alcohols and cigarettes is not healthy, or is not helping the seafarers to achieve their well-being. And we have few activities for the seafarers which are proposed by the ILO. One is capacity building. This is particularly for the migrant fishers, and these are on knowing the rights and the ports do's and don'ts. Another activity, recreation, indoor games, and then religious activities, Sunday services, and other sacraments if ever they request, like confession. So there is a chapel, and then in the other side of the building there are two empty offices and a space for like a space where they can hang out, which are not being used. The ILO is planning to is using that in the coming days for the survey of local and foreign fishermen. The ILO approach a research organization or a company to do that survey. So they will be using that offices for their survey. And the other activities is English classes, also only for the foreign fishermen. And a values formation, we find it necessary to include values formation because there are some behavior that are questionable. So we need to inform them as a church organization to guide the fishers. In conclusion, adapting to changes we have these three adaptations. One, the sources of fund. The center now is not depending on the funds coming from Stella Maris, as well as from the Archdiocese of Cape Town, but from the ILO. There is also possibilities to tap IMO and ITF for fundings. Second adaptation services are focused more on fishers, because we found out together with ILO that fishers are more vulnerable than the seafarers. So it's a big shift that we have taken this year. But also as to the services, in the past 5 years, bringing the services to seafarers, we found that they don't really, only few of them needed those services. But the fishers do needed them more often. That's why we have taken this shift. And lastly, on the selling of liquor and cigarettes because of well-being, health issues that we don't see, that we find to be more harmful if we allow them to drink, but also, you know, getting drunk, some unnecessary behaviors are coming out. So as a result, the Seafarers and Fishers Center in Cape Town is not sustainable, because we do not generate, the center is not generating any income, and we have become an implementing partner of the ILO instead of, you know, freely doing the services of Stella Maris, which is not the right path, but we have taken because of the funds that the ILO has offered to us. And yeah, that ends my presentation.